So Lee, impromptu, one of those meetings up in the, what is this area called?
Hospice ward?
Yeah.
Welcome aboard another brand spanking new episode of another Below Deck podcast. My name's Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one Patrick Hickey.
Permission to come aboard.
Granted, producer Kalen is over there behind the board.
Go ahead.
Hey, fellas.
What do we call that? I mean, he's behind the table, behind the picnic table.
Behind the table.
And we have called him producer Kalen quite easily. That's because this was kind of sorted on another property we have called Bad TV. Go over there, subscribe, and that will lead us into public service announcement because we've had quite the development of late.
Yeah. Hey, well, and let me share some of the developments. First, let me thank the Barnacles. Mm-hmm. Barnacles, you have single-handedly handed Dylan and I don't say Kalen because he's a new guy. He doesn't count yet. Our biggest download numbers of a single episode. Of course, we've had Kate Chastain on in the past and things like that. But this, as just a regular episode, we blew up the internet this week with that. We are so thankful of you guys sharing the show and listening to the podcast and liking what Dylan and I do. So with that, now that we've taken over the Below Deck podcast reality TV world, we want to get into that video world.
Yeah.
So here's how you help us. We're not going to ask you. We're not going to beg for money this week. We're not going to fucking ask you to head over to Apple Podcast and leave us a review.
Well, but do that.
Well, if you want to. What we need you to do now, if you really want to say, I love you, Patty and Dilly, and I appreciate everything you do. You entertain me. You make my life better. Here's what you can do right now. Dylan, what is the YouTube channel? How do you say it?
Well, if you type in another Below Deck a podcast on YouTube, it'll bring you to a channel called Solace Premise by Nick Davis. So that's not the channel that we I mean, if you're enjoying that content, enjoy that content. But yeah, it has been changed, to quote Donna Brazil, like a thief in the night. But so go to badt.v. It's bad TV with the TV, the dots in the middle. It's an acronym or something like that. Just search bad TV.
Hit it again.
Bad TV. Put the dots in the middle.
That's it.
Yeah, at Bad TV, put the dots in the middle.
So that's where you can watch the video of Dilly and I breaking down this, because some people like to consume it by watching us, Dylan.
Oh, yeah, and there's going to be lots of other content there.
And just so you know, our other episode, our recap of the Scandival of the century.
Oh, yeah.
With Ruby Wren, Dylan's lovely sister.
Yep.
Very clever and entertaining, a future podcaster in her career. We're trying to convince her to come on for a special once-in-a-lifetime recap season of VPR. And we're at the negotiating table. My agent, Brian, has reached out. I think he wants to represent her.
Yeah, and Ruby was a little shook by Brian's kind of Harvey Dent post-fire kind of look to him. But we do need to get her to the negotiating table, so nobody better to do it than Brian, even though his skin is charred.
Right.
Yeah,
He looks very weird.
Oh, very weird.
Yeah, you know what, though, Dylan? I owe that man my life. He got me out of a lucrative career in Uber driving, and I had just surrendered myself to that because I was just so in love with driving people around. And he convinced me, no. There's more fucking cheddar in this whole game of talking into a microphone.
If we're going to be on YouTube, it's important not to curse in the first 10 minutes, but that's okay. So anyways, those are the public service announcements for the day. Jump the iTunes ratings reviews, but most importantly, go to Patreon. But more importantly, go to YouTube, search Bad TV, put the dots in the middle of the T and the V. Mm-hmm. We have Below Deck to talk about.
Love it, dude.
It's our favorite show. It's our favorite show that's not going to have a reunion, and we have no fucking idea. There I go. I did it when Below Deck Sailing's coming. Bravo, what is going on?
Man.
Bravo, what is going on?
It's Andy's disdain for this property. He for some reason, it's beneath him.
Ugh.
And so he doesn't care. Someone probably went to his desk like a month ago and said, hey, man, we got that whole yachting season in the can.
Yeah.
When are we debuting that?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I got better things to do.
I'm really happy you didn't throw a gay twang on that impression.
Oh, you think I'd do that?
Yeah.
I've been doing the work, Dylan.
Yeah, I do. That's why.
I've been doing the work.
Oh, got it.
Okay?
Got it.
Yeah.
Would you get a book or something?
Well, look, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, look, if you are in the number 5 spot for reality TV podcasts, for television podcasts, for drama podcasts.
Yeah.
That's where this podcast sits. I need to step up my game.
Sure. And step up your game you have. Kaylin? No. So let's get into our rating system, our knots, our pots, and what have you. Pat, go ahead.
Okay, we are winding things down here. Little disappointed.
Still fun though, right?
Excuse me?
Still fun though, right?
Absolutely. This is my favorite show to recap. Except for Love is Blind. I enjoy that more. And Dylan and I, last public service announcement. Dylan and I are going to do something really fun. If you're go over to the Bad TV podcast.
You didn't get me scratching my ear, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Don't worry. I just got to let the audience know this because it's coming faster than they know it. Love is Blind season 4 drops next week. Dylan and I are going to drop the first 5 episodes in the Bad TV feed for free.
Wow.
The second 5, which drop the next week, you're going to have to pay for those. Patreon.com/podcast.
Yeah, Love is Blind is around the corner. We're excited to recap it. We're excited to meet new people who cut meat angrily, have alcohol problems. Hello?
Oh!
And honestly, guys, last public service announcement. Stop telling us to do perfect match. We know it's over, but don't ask us to do perfect match, okay? We'll land on something if Netflix wants to put something else out. I don't know how these shows are as popular as they are. What with a show collecting all of the various saddies from shows like Beasts Dating. Have you seen that fucking thing?
No.
People look like lizards, but they go on dates and like you can't see them, but it's very odd.
Seems very niche.
Yeah, very niche.
Anyway.
All right, sorry.
All right, so I really enjoyed the episode, but I was hoping that Ben and Leanne would consummate, all that tantalizing sexual chemistry they've had. But that was a real dud, but there's still one more episode left. So hopeful there.
They're totally going to pork.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Really kind of pathetic. Katie, at this point, you know what you bought. You either bring it back to the store and get your money back.
Yeah.
Or you just accept what you...
And what store did you buy Ross from?
The Broken Sex Addiction store.
Yeah.
He is he's not anybody but himself. So at this point, what's that saying? They said, if someone's showing you who they are, believe them. Right. Okay. Lee in this episode plays a prank on one of the guests. To Lee, I'll say this very simple: too little, too late, sir.
Yeah. When he bends over like that with his purple animatronic crutch, it makes me very sad.
Yeah, it's sad at this point. Dylan, I can't wait for you to talk about all the dinners and stuff like that. And of course, later on, we're going to have Kaylin do another preference sheet meeting.
Yeah. I'm excited to get to the Japanese dinner that is rounded out with the Italian panna cotta. Looking forward to that. Should be fun.
14 knots.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about all of it. But first, Kaylin has to give his pots. Kaylin, go ahead.
I thought it was a very serviceable episode. Could have been a lot better, but overall, enjoyable. I'll give it a 50.
50 knots.
Now, I hesitate to pry further.
Why don't you ask him what his favorite part was?
No.
No?
I was going to ask him why he thought it could have been better. But I think I know his answer. He's probably going to say something really pervy like you. Like he wanted Leanne and Ben to suck face on that dance floor for Ross to find a new hole and make Katie all mad. I don't know. I'm just projecting at this point.
You are. Was it any of those, Kaylin?
I will say Ben banging Camille on top of Tony's bunk was fairly all-time in my mind. Below deck moment. It's those kind of moments that really, I think, are...
These are the kind of takes that
makes great TV.
These are the kind of takes we don't need.
Let the man
I asked
speak.
him about this episode. He's talking about episodes 6-7 weeks ago and saying things like all time for things that C-Rat's fucking on a bunk. I mean, that's not all time. that's Wednesday.
That's Monday night.
Wow, Padawan. Oh my gosh.
All right.
No, I thought it was a very
great job, Kay.
Serviceable episode, much like Kaylin. But I don't remember what happened. So we're going to have to get into the episode here. Pat, why don't you kick things off?
Oh, sure. So Lee, impromptu, one of those meetings up in the, what is this area called?
Hospice ward?
Yeah. He says, come on up here. And he wants to get the lowdown on the evening's itinerary. I've never seen him do this before.
Yeah, the lowdown and the down low.
Yeah, apparently Lee doesn't, he's over the club themes, you know? He's like, fucking 80s club. Don't like it. Disco club night sucks. White party. Played out. Lee's over all of it.
Lee's over the themes.
Club David. St. David can put a rock up my ass. Actually, Lee would like that.
He got a little yenta-y towards the end there. It was really weird. I was like, okay, so lunch is myriad Mexican habaneros and mahi-mahi and piña and guanom. It looks fine, but if you're not saying homemade flour tortillas, you're still in Shutter Island to me. Now, I can forgive Rachel because she has to focus on what is going to be a Japanese feast rounded out with Italian custard. Now, we'll get there. We move on, though, to Tyler, whose story is an Abbott Costello routine of coming out or not coming out to his hate-filled mother. And I got to say, very cool, but enough. Call her and have her scream at you for being... insert hate-filled word here, or let's find something else for you to do.
And Haley,
the food fight was fun, but how many times are we going to do this?
Yeah, it's almost like he felt like he needed to add something to the show with that food fight. Hey, Haley, you are the good witch. Enough with the goddamn peer pressure. The man's going to share his experience with his family in due time.
And here's a good idea. Maybe don't do it on this boat. Firmly rooted in station as a sea rat. Maybe do it in person where there aren't cameras. Just a thought. I don't want to tell anybody how to come out to their hate-filled parents, but that would be my tip. So, Ross and Katie, once again, there's a little bit of dissonance here between these two. She thinks there's something more, and he, depending on the day, does not know who she is.
Yeah, we get a tumultuous look back on their sea rat journey. And once again, Katie is pretty positive but delusional about their future, and Ross is pretty confident that they'll never speak again.
Yeah, he knows that she is a hole, but he doesn't know what it's named sometimes. You know what I mean? He is a sex addict.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, they have their ideas of what the outcomes are going to be are polar opposites. Katie sees a future with 3 kids, a white picket fence, and some boat expos. Mm-hmm. And Ross's future is having sex with his next coworker.
Right.
Wow. Right. Thinking of a girl that he saw walking by the boat hours earlier.
Yeah.
Because he's a sex addict.
You know, Ross is a lot like the elemental forces of nature. You cannot trust or not trust them. They are what they are. They seek holes. They seek higher ground. They seek pain. They seek happiness. You have to know what you're going to get with this guy. What you're getting is Ross. So, first up for lunch. Oh, no. Is this the dinner?
Well, we got a couple things going on here.
Oh, yeah. Hit me with a couple things.
Meanwhile, Leanne and Ben flirt. Meanwhile, we get a classic prank from Lee. Meanwhile, Angel's so rude that he is the fodder for Lee's classic prank.
Now, we will talk about Angel later.
Angel can take a fucking dump on someone's head. Yep. You drop $40K.
Yep.
Dude, beat off onto a plate and then ask someone to lick it off.
Why do you have to do that,
I'm
man?
trying to think of the most...
It's like you took Harvey Weinstein and you made it even grosser. At least he beat off into a plant. You're talking about beating off into fucking China and having people consume it with their tongue. I mean, it's absolutely revolting. Fuck, man. So let's get to dinner. First up is wakame and cucumber salad, a beautiful clean amuse-bouche. And while the deck crew sets up Club St. David, the first course is served, which is a ramekin of mushrooms. An odd first course. I don't know how I feel about it. If I was at a tasting menu, prefix, so to speak, I'd be like, oh, this is a little underwhelming. This is just a bunch of oyster mushrooms that you braised. And fucking, is this Worcestershire sauce? I thought this was Japanese. Anyways, so we move on to the second course, which is tonkatsu, also known as chicken cutlet. I can't complain about a chicken cutlet, and tonkatsu is a marvelous Asian adaptation of fried meat. I mean, it's perfect. Now, there is no gravy to be seen. I do want some gravy to be seen, but Rach is behind bars and she's being attacked by apparitions, so you can't fault her. Haley continues to blow up Ben's spot. Why are you laughing like that?
That's funny.
Okay,
man.
Haley.
She's a lunatic.
Okay. Haley continues to blow up Ben's spot, but you can't hate her because Haley does not loathe other women like Alyssa. She respects girl code. She knows that this is a girl who is walking into a bit of a bear trap, and she has to let her know because we've all been there. You find an indigenous Australian with a low brow line and you fall in love. But you have to know he's dating a rapper who is about to put out country music. She has to let her know that that's what she's walking into.
Oh, they always go over to country.
Yeah.
Hey, Dylan, do you mind if I digress from your appraisal of Rachel's meal?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, the reason why...
No, absolutely not. I mean.
Okay. I apologize. Yeah.
No.
Oh, you want me to go?
No. If I said... Please continue.
Okay. Well, the reason this dinner service is going so well, it's not all Rachel here. It's because Rach talked with Sandy like weeks earlier. Yeah. We get a flashback, and Rachel shares with us the truly astonishing, mind-blowing wisdom that Sandy bestowed on Chef Rach before her departure. Are you ready for this? She recommended she do quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Rachel, this has changed everything for Rachel. Did Sandy fucking study with Plato?
Well, it's a good question, and I don't think that she studied with Plato because...
Well, where's this knowledge it's hidden from the rest of us come from?
The cat is not out of the bag, but I'm fairly certain that Plato is dead. Now... This does strike me as a kind of Kill Bill, kind of Beatrix kind of moment where she flashes back to her sensei's brutal training. And with that, she can defeat Vivica Fox. With that, Rachel can deliver 6 courses of food.
Yeah. It's amazing. I'm like, fuck, quality over quantity. Where was this information with those scrolls buried with the Shroud of Turin?
Yeah, it was the Dead Sea Scrolls. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. The Book of Enoch and whatnot.
God, these people are idiots.
You're peeking.
Sorry.
So next up, we've got Kobe sashimi with a blowtorched egg. And we round things out with a lovely black cod and a very Japanese Italian custard. So, all joking aside, and ending a Japanese feast with an Italian custard is a joke. But this was a marvelous meal. I would be more than happy to consume these offerings if I was paying $60,000 a day. The rest, no.
Oh, no.
Like this one meal, probably. But throughout the entire stay on the boat, you can't be thrilled with the food. There's just no possible way. So take it away, Pat. What happens next?
The best part of dinner, I guess, was that Angel can't talk. And Frasier said, and I quote, he's a hideous, demanding asshole.
Right.
I bet these two don't follow each other on Instagram.
Yeah, and I bet Frasier feels like a demanding asshole after getting tipped $3,000.
Yeah.
Although you think about it, that is not enough.
$40,000?
That is not enough
$3
money.
$3,000 each.
Yeah. You think about, like, you sit down to, let's say some dignitary walks into a 2 Michelin star restaurant, orders a $5,000 bottle of wine and then dinner. You're getting tipped like
1,000.
Most of what these sea rats get, waiting hand and foot
4 days
on demanding assholes. I mean, it's just no way to live. But we have entire years of podcasts saying that sea rats do not have a happy life. They enjoy it, which is the only thing that matters. I feel bad. I feel like that was too mean.
What do you mean?
I feel like that was too mean. Sea rats are happy in the way that, like, a free-range pig that is going to slaughter is happy. They know not the doom that awaits them. But right now, it's fun. They get to fuck. They get to do shots. You know?
Eat hay.
They eat grain. Yeah. Good grain. So, Teddy's son John has arrived at some point. Tony hands out snacks, says be careful, they're 200 calories. And we...
Well, I appreciated this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit of a meanwhile. An egg is cooked in front of the guests. We learn Tyler shaves his pubes.
Right.
And Tony warns the entertainment performers of the hidden calories of those goddamn power bars.
Yeah, it's like what Regina George was getting fed to lose weight. Before you know it, I was gonna use stones as a unit of measurement. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the fuck a stone is. I was going to say 30 stones. That might be 700 pounds. I don't know why I did that. So we danced to royalty-free Lion King music, and we wrap up with a really incredible evening. Teddy's son John was awesome. And as they depart, we chat with Camille and Ben. Now, we talked about this last week. Pat, do you want to remind the audience and this young man what to do with this information?
Oh, it's simple. Lie.
Yeah.
So this is what he does that's slimy and an oversight on your part, Dylan. Bad hosting. During the dance party, Ben grabbed Leanne and pulled her over and caressed her back and danced very flirtatiously with her. Then went up to the bridge in the night and texted or called Millie Illicit, a future country star failure, and said, I wish you were here so I could dance with you. Scumbag. And then they discussed their DR trip.
DR.
The DR, yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. You know, sea rats have an affinity for adventure, but we've talked about it. When in the DR, it's a bad idea to imbibe in that pull. Stay at the all-inclusive because you will see horrors. And it's probably because of globalistic, clandestine efforts to topple governments. It's not that country's fault. It's the earthquakes and the clandestine efforts to topple their government. But we'll move on. 2, the next morning.
Yeah. Next morning!
Lee is seated, and Rachel is back on that ghostly island. She is impersonating a Floridian retiree and is walking around with a banana taped to a trophy base.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how could she not be getting screamed at by past criminals of a high-security prison? Go ahead, Pat.
Well, I was going to say, boy, this just passed by real quick. We learned that Ross was a performer in a
pornographic film.
Yeah. Well, he says I wasn't in it, but his penis was.
Yeah.
And then Katie, maybe just because she's a broken sea rat from Florida, only had one follow-up question, which was, what was your porn name?
Yeah.
She didn't say, can people find this?
Yeah.
Because I'd be dating a guy that did porn.
She didn't say anything like, whoa, that's concerning or anything like that.
No.
But also, like, what kind of porn would you be in wherein your penis was the only thing featured?
Oh, I thought about this.
It's got to be glory hole porn,
well,
right?
You're wearing like a Cocomelon mask and you're at a gangbang.
Oh, right. And it does need to be a child television mask.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's all they had left at the 99 cent store,
I was thinking of
a guy was in a rush. He's like, I got to get to a gangbang.
Yeah.
What do you got? I can wear on my face so my wife doesn't find out.
Yeah. I have to really quickly hop on over to an empty living room in Chatsworth. It's not empty, actually. There's a rug on the ground.
And some plastic.
And a chaise lounge. And I have to... Let's not get into it. All right. You know, I have this desire to speak on glory hole porn, but I don't think that our audience wants to hear it.
Oh, you never know. We've warmed them up. They're pretty open to what we think.
You know, it's just, I don't understand the kind of gal or guy that can get their rocks off to that kind of thing. I mean, there's no intimacy in that.
Not at all.
You know?
No.
It's like you see those snapshots advertising subscription porn services wherein there's some kind of series wherein some masseuse is tugging away at somebody from beneath the table and getting milked on. I don't understand that. What? There's no intimacy there at all. It's just crude humors.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Ugh.
God. Sex is beautiful. Unless it's in an empty living room in Chatsworth with a lot of plastic, a chaise lounge, one broken woman, and 15 guys who are more than happy to rub phallic members up against one another if it means setting the world record for that many inside one orifice. That's just a really, really tough scene. But if that's your kink, that's your kink. So let's move on. Let's get to docking. That is a bad segue. That's a bad segue.
No, that's fine.
So Lee is pissed because They have a fucking piece of shit, fucking bullshit, fucking piece of shit tender. And that other boat has a nice one. Yeah. And we dock in a windstorm and a maelstrom.
With the score used from the film All Quiet on the Western Front, or something close to it, to make this boat docking seem more dramatic than it is. But it's very ineffective because, once again, nothing happens. But that won't stop Lee from talking about the boat docking at a meeting later on. I have a clip.
Well done. I can't thank you enough for my first charter batch. You guys performed admirably. I just wanted to talk to you about the docking today. We hit a 30-knot gust today that just started peeling me off the dock, and I got 2 slack dock lines on the bow. And I can get it there. Question is, how long can I hold it there? So that's why those bow lines have to come in with the bow. But you guys did a good job. And
The correct answer is, who gives a shit? Okay. Why are you talking so much? Let's see how much is in the envelopes there, old man.
Okay, I was like, this is a long clip.
So, well, I got to talk about bow lines and things getting pulled and coming in and wind direction.
This is like if you are, let's say, in the AFC South and you're 2-16. And the coach is coming in, and he's talking about fundamentals at the end of the season. You're like, would you shut that fuck up, please? My God, I just want to go to the strip club. Please shut the fuck up. So we
the guests leave.
We say goodbye to the guests.
Tip meeting.
And we get to the tip meeting. Really crass from Lee. That's a thick fucker right there. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Too little, too late.
Overcompensating much, eh?
Holy cannoli. Angel, once again, you can poop on my bed. 40 grand.
I don't think it was Angel.
No, Angel was the dick.
I know, but I don't think Angel was the tipper.
Well, the whole group was the tipper, man. You got to you all chip in.
You all
man.
chip in, yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, because we talked to Chuck and Erica, and Chuck chipped in like 500, and Erica chipped in like 712, and they were like, "Where's the rest from everybody?" You know?
Yeah.
And the mom was like, "I don't have any, and I'm not paying for that couch that looks like somebody shit on it 15 times." Yeah.
So anyway, 3,100 each. I think that's a nice haul. I completely disagree with Dylan. I scrub some some railings or something for 2 days and hear people's bark orders for $3,100. It's 2 days work though.
Yeah, no, it's 2 days work. But let's say, and not everybody can work at a nice restaurant, but if you do work at a nice restaurant, you don't pool tips, which is communism. I mean, it's just disgusting. And I'm kidding. I'm an anarchist communist. Just chill out. I'm good with all of it, man. You probably make a lot more money, and you're not stranded in the middle of the goddamn ocean with a bunch of people with the same cognitive dysfunctional issues as you have in bunks. I mean, it just seems like a happier life. You're in New York City. So, the Sea Rats are happy, and so are we, because we get to kick our feet up and listen to the Preference Sheet Meeting.
All right, get on that mic, dude.
What do you mean? Is that you?
Hey, you're pressuring him, man. Come on, give him some space.
All right, this is going to be the last charter. It's a one-day charter. The primaries are Keith and Jolyn Hugstad.
Okay, good pronunciation.
Keith is a serial entrepreneur who owns a landscaping business. Jolyn formerly competed in bodybuilding competitions.
Right.
She's a part of the IFBF, the International Fitness and Bodybuilding Federation.
Oh, I was thinking that's where you have to poop a lot.
But you're not supposed to interrupt the preference.
Sorry.
The married couple also owns a fitness gym in Georgia, and are avid fans of motocross and motorbike racing. They even had a private motocross track built on their land.
Oh, so they're making some money over there.
Yeah.
Their guests include legendary bodybuilder Dexter the Blade Jackson.
I think I know him.
He looks like the scary guy.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
2008 Mr. Olympia and 9-time Arnold Classic champion, as well as his wife Gail. Also on the boat is neuropsychologist Jamie Hope and her husband Terry, who works in the liquor industry.
Well, interesting.
And lastly, couple Vince and Beverly, who are gym owners from Florida and have known the primaries for over 2 decades.
Interesting. Okay.
I got to figure out the what's the connection with the neuroscientist.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. Seems like,
Well, it's very, very clear.
Oh.
He's been on a stack for a while. He starts punching holes in malls.
Yes.
He goes to see Hope.
And that's how he meets this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, nice.
Right.
No information on dietary restrictions or what they'd like to eat at all, for that matter. My guess is lots of protein. The only thing that they do seem to want is to have a buns and guns contest
Oh, wow.
in which yacht crew will participate to compete against each other while the guests judge.
Oh, interesting.
And I would be surprised if Tony doesn't run away with this one.
Oh, wow.
Any football stats?
I did not find any links to any football.
You know, that is
NFL.
that's actually really, really good from you because he did some coloring, right, to this. So he's is that the end of the preference group meeting?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, great. So he said no dietary restrictions. I don't know what they're going to eat, but I assume it's a lot of protein,
Right.
right?
That's color.
Cluing us into them being big juice heads. right?
Yes.
He also, you've done a lot of steroids. So what is it like?
Constant. Well, lots of people think your balls shrink, but I'll tell you they don't. They
Yeah,
actually
no.
grow longer.
Yeah, they droop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know my best friend Jeffy in the 7th grade?
Good job, Kalen.
Good job,
75
Kay.
pots.
Thank you.
I'm helping him on the weight rack. I'm what do you call it? Where I'm supporting him as he's lifting things up. You
You
know,
said my friend what?
Jeffy.
Jeffy. I'm helping him on the, and then you did
weight rack.
this.
Oh, I'm holding up the bar. I'm supporting him, or I forget what that was. So you just make sure the bar doesn't come down
you're
and crush
spotting.
Spotting.
You're
Yeah.
spotting. And you know that because you've done stacks and you've been in the gym a lot. So
Well,
Constant.
we were told, the way you get someone to really, push is you insult them. So I was like, come on, pussy. Come
Yeah.
on, fucking push hard, man.
yeah.
Wouldn't you know it? That son of a bitch gets up from the weight rack and punches me in the face.
Wow.
I later found out Jeffy was buying steroids.
Right.
Yeah. Thank God he's off him now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's a helicopter pilot now.
Oh,
Turned
good
out
for him. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Leanne is shown some pictures of the puppy known as Camille. I guess that's South African for dumb blonde.
Yeah. That was mean. Yeah. But this is because
Well, she's in competition with somebody. you know.
exactly.
Can't
Well,
be nice
she's
to your enemy.
Facebook creeping.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Yep. So they hit the tender, and Ross says a thing that innumerable sea rats have said in the past. It's probably not a good idea to get shit-faced,
Right.
but
Fuck it. I'm a sea rat. Fuck it.
okay. So dinner
You only live once.
looks magnificent because of those perfectly emulsified pina coladas. One of the great cocktails in the history of the art form. I love a good pina colada. It is a nuclear weapon of intoxication. You don't know how powerful those things are because of how fucking delicious they are. But if emulsified properly, we don't want anything separating. We don't want an iceberg on top and a bunch of pineapple juice on the bottom. If they are emulsified correctly, there is almost nothing better. Very heavy on the gut, though.
Oh, yeah.
Lot
You'd be
of sugar.
shitting yourself.
Yeah.
How about a Negroni?
Negronis are more appropriate in more contexts. But I would say that a pina colada beats out a Negroni in terms of deliciousness and efficiency. Probably not efficiency. Negroni is pretty boozy. So dinner looks magnificent because of the I just said that. I literally just said that. What is this, Groundhog Day? Haley and Frasier have a lovely moment.
Yes.
Wherein Haley tells Frasier, Jesus,
Oh, sorry.
he's gay.
Yeah, I know, but it was so nice, her telling him, how fucking great he is.
Yeah.
And Fraser's just like looking at her and he's in like a haze of cig smoke.
Right.
It's like the best day of his life.
Yeah. Dude, Frasier got fucking torqued tonight.
He was wasted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone did, if you think about it.
Right.
It's like it's their last night,
Yeah.
but it's not. They have to wake up in 11 hours.
Right, exactly. So we learned that Leanne has been cheated on quite a bit, and Haley's vagina comes out. We move on to
Oh, no. I got to talk about that, Dale.
Oh, God.
Ben and Lee, they're at the dinner table and they chat about her last relationship. And she tells him he would say things like I'm into you, and then do the total opposite. And I was thinking that behavior sounds pretty familiar,
Yeah.
like He's with Millie Alyssa.
I think you're being too hard on Ben. I think
He's at a dinner table. Basically, he's on a date right now.
Ben reminds me of Speed Racer in a way, where he's like, go. Like he's just trying to get over the finish line without hurting anybody. But if he has to, he will hit the E button and break fucking hearts. That's what that button did. So, Leanne and Ben play with fire when we get to the club. Quite a striptease from Ben. And you know who else plays with fire?
Ross.
The hole searcher himself. He sees a hole off to the wings and he says, why don't you come dance? And obviously she is a person, but I'm seeing the world through his vantage right now. Yes. This obviously gets Katie pissed. And when they get in the back of the van, Katie and Ross have a bit of a tiff. And I have to say, the thing that repulses Ross the most is not her trying to curb his hole hunting. It is her referring to him as baby. When he hears that, he is done. Done. But because he's a sex addict, he's not. Because he will remind her that we've only got one night left to fuck, so let's not fuck this up. I know I said I was grossed out by you and that this isn't going to work, but let's hold it together for one more night. Haley and Tyler have a lovely moment. Food fight of the ages.
We know they have nothing left with this season left to give because they spent a full 5 minutes of a food fight.
I thought the food fight was fun. It was like sea rats being sea rats. Like this is like the jovial side of the sea rat. You know, like you have like, this is the spectrum. You have people talking about being tied up and watching their mother get hit with some kind of
like a bone?
Yeah, some type of archaeological dig find. And then you have sea rats fucking and sucking, the pinnacle. But then you have fun moments like this where they're throwing cake and shit and they're ruining their own environment. It's actually quite a fun sabotaging endeavor to watch. But we move on to the next day.
Next morning.
Ross, thank you. That took you forever.
Sorry.
Ross and Katie have a lovely mending moment wherein Ross says, listen, whatever your name is.
Can we be friends with benefits? And I'm pretty sure she says, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get a meanwhile.
My wife calls her, Shri is so mean. My wife calls Katie whenever she comes on the screen. My wife yells, baby prostitute. I guess because her body,
God.
She always dresses like a hooker, you know? I find it very sexy. But anyway.
I can't believe that Cherie and not you said that.
Yeah. It's like we were meant to be together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we end with a meanwhile.
Sea
rat's clean and Lee hobbled, leans over with his bionic purple crutch and struggles to pick something up. You know, we really are in the doldrums. But I do appreciate the producers letting us see just how sad it is to see Lee try to do everything, everyday things like lean over.
Yeah.
He should not be on this boat. But he would have died if he did not come back and finish his charter. Guys, that's it for us. Love you for listening. Love you for supporting the show.
Share the show.
Tell your friends. Tell your family.
Dylan, remind them of the YouTube channel thing again.
No, let's do this. You remind them of the YouTube channel because it's very simple.
All right, it's Bad TV with dots in between the T and the V.
He did it.
All right, you got to go over there right now. You owe us. We want to hit 1,000 this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just do it.
Go over there.
We'll have Stuart. Hey, Stuart, our Facebook guy.
Right.
Hey, post a link to make it easy for everybody on another Below Deck podcast.
Yeah,
Facebook
so
group.
go over there, subscribe. If you're still subscribed to Solid Premises, hang out there if you want. But if you don't, come on over to Bad TV, where the Below Deck. Support everyone you can. That's what we're saying. Support us at Bad TV. Put the dots in the middle. We love you guys very much. Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. Join us on Patreon for ad-free, uncensored episodes. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Pat, say goodbye.
Later, dudes.
Dylan, say goodbye.
Bye-bye.